So one of the main topics of this video is how did Dennis, despite losing to Devon in 2023 on the right arm, manage to get into Devon's head so good? I mean, the situation has come to a point where people, instead of saying that Dennis pulled Devon's whole body with the right arm across the table 2018 or whatever, they are now saying that Dennis pulled Devon's whole mind and his soul across the table in 2024. And Devon seems to be commenting a lot about this situation on videos on social media. But first of all, it's time to be happy. Looks like Denis Cyplenkov is making a comeback. I thought that it was over. I thought there is no way that Dennis is going to compete because he did mention that with this hip pain and without the hip replacement surgery, which he's not thinking about getting right now, it won't be possible for him to train hard. And without training hard, it won't be possible for him to compete on the arm wrestling table. But in the recent True Power video, he did mention that he's thinking about preparing the next year, and the same year, he's possibly going to have a super match as well. Now that's some exciting stuff, but he did mention, which I'm really happy to hear, that he's not thinking about top level arm wrestlers as of now. So possibly, if not the top tier matches, let's say level 5 is the top tier, then level 4 matches for Denis Cyplenkov as of now. And that's a smart move. Like initially, I used to think matches like Michael Todd, because Michael Todd was kind of down at that point a couple of years ago. Then I thought about Jerry Cadret. He would have been a really tough opponent. But before that, a Dave Chaffee match. I think out of these three, a Dave Chaffee match may still make sense. But it looks like Dave also may be stronger than Dennis as of now. But Dennis has the endurance dialed in. But if Dennis is already below 120 kilos, which seems to be the case, he did mention that he has lost some weight, then why not a Sandris Chedis match? Why not a Reno Masic match? Ibrahim Sagov is Russian. Not many people will be excited to see a Russian versus Russian. But I think that is where Denis Cyplenkov's level may be as of now compared to Reno or Sandris, or at that level. You can understand what I'm saying. Why not a Tordzilla match? Tordzilla versus Denis Cyplenkov. Who wouldn't love to see that? Because in 2014 or whatever, Denis Cyplenkov pulled Uncle Todd's whole body across the table with the right arm. So maybe Todd wants to revenge that loss because Dennis was way too strong for him back then, and he has now since then really improved. So Dennis said, and the English translation said, I feel good overall, and the next year I would like to do preparation and then maybe an arm fight. I have a great desire to come back. These are the really motivating words, and that's why the smile on my face. I hope this time the health will not fail, and we also hope the same. So please suggest the matches that Dennis should be taking as of now. We'll discuss later what Devon had to say about that video. To be honest, I did not see anything too much wrong other than him criticizing Devon that he doesn't really expect anything else from Devon at this point. He looked like he was kind of embarrassed with what Devon said about the Legacy Hammer and about Denis Cyplenkov, because Devon was constantly attacking the Russian. I don't expect anything else from him anymore. I'll say it again, whatever he wants and does, I don't want to do anything with him. I don't want to deal with him anymore. He said that for Devon, just handing over the hammer to Morozov was never an option, which he's going to do right now. But Devon kind of wanted to create more drama about that. I'm not sure why Dennis said that, because to me it clearly seemed like Devon just wanted the hammer to go away from Denis Cyplenkov's hands into either Morozov or Vitaly Lalatin's hand. But now Devon seems to have changed his mind about that as well, because I'll read that post later on. So these are the things that really bother Dennis. He made clear that his left arm is still hurting. He doesn't know why, but he doesn't know the solution to that as well. So it looks like he won't be surprised if he kind of never competes on the left arm in the future. So the answer to Devon's call out on the left arm was, nope, that match is never going to happen. And even on the right arm, if Dennis is ready, he won't have another match with Devon anymore, because he just does not like the person after how he behaved about Dennis or with Dennis before their right arm match in 2023. So these are the situations. Now let me read some of the posts from Devon Larratt. So first of all, Devon posted this translation from, not the translation, but the exact message on Instagram which he sent to Dennis on December 2019. And the translation says, hey champ, Rick Pinkney will bring you the hammer that I promised so long ago. I hope that in many years this hammer is passed from champion to champion and becomes a symbol for us all. While it is yours, make any changes you like to it. but make sure your name is on it before it leaves your hands. Important point. All the best, Dennis. So yeah, it was clear. The other post was, last time I want to comment on hammer situation. It's not a WL hammer. It's not my hammer. It was a gift idea given to the sport by Devon. He should have mentioned that as well. Travis does not own the hammer, because Dennis also mentioned that Travis holds the super heavyweight hammer and it is not Devon. So maybe that's the answer to that question as well. The hammer is not owned by a league. It does say WL over it. I think they should get rid of that. If the hammer does not belong to WL, then getting rid of that name is by far the best option as of now. As a champion, you can alter, but it is your responsibility to bring it to the greatest. And then he said that he's an idiot. I'm kind of grossed out by his and all who support him, their personality, their mentality as well. So he's kind of grossed out at the fans who support Denis Cyplenkov as well. And True Power deletes my comments on YouTube. So Devon had this back and forth with True Power where he called Dennis a coward. He said that True Power is deleting my comments. The comment is still pinned at the top of the video. Maybe you can go there and check it out yourself. But Devon was getting a lot of hate in the comment section there. A lot of hate. I'll not say this was the first time, but this is one of the very rare occasions where you literally cannot find a single supportive comment for Devon. Maybe you can, but the percentage is very less. So maybe Devon should stay silent about this topic, because he's getting himself into more and more trouble, because it's not working in his favor. Initially, he was able to direct some of the fans against Denis Cyplenkov. I'll say many of the fans, but looks like they are also turning back towards Devon and now hating on him. So this clearly has backfired, and now he has mentioned that he does not want to do anything with the hammer as well. So how the concept is going to continue if Morozov also does not believe in that, but Dennis is going to bring the hammer to Morozov for sure. This is something which is clear as of now. So now the big question is, how did Dennis manage to do that? First of all, the silence is the most powerful weapon, as some say. Denis Cyplenkov remained silent. And more importantly, he said that, not more importantly, the most important point is something else, but he also mentioned that he does not want to do anything with Devon, because Devon is used to of having arm wrestles text him like they're texting a hot girl. Like, his DMs must be full, because everybody is trying to get a super match. Not now, when he has kind of proven that he's easily top 3 in the world, but somewhere around 2021-22, everybody was calling out Devon Larratt. So even now he's getting many call outs because he's the big deal. But Dennis does not want that. So maybe that's a new situation for Devon. And the bigger point here is, Devon does not feel that he has avenged his loss. And that's what's irritating him from the inside. Because number one, that was a left arm match that Devon lost, and he kind of took his revenge on the right arm. So yeah, you can get that feeling, but not the exact feeling when you took that humbling loss. The arm was different. And the second thing was, Devon knew deep inside that Dennis was not the best. He kept on saying that Dennis is as strong as he was back in 2018. That was not trying to convince us, but he was trying to convince himself that he's beating the best version of Denis Cyplenkov. If you ask my assessment, some people say he was 70%. That's ridiculous. I'll say Dennis was somewhere around 90% of his peak shape in that Devon Larratt 2023 match. And that's why Devon does not feel that he truly got his revenge. That 2018 loss is still bothering him. It's not Denis Cyplenkov's fault. Maybe it is slightly, he didn't take care of his health as good as he could have. I guess it's definitely not Devon Larratt's fault that Dennis got ill and he never returned to his peak shape, because Devon wanted that revenge, and that feeling is probably going to haunt him for the rest of his life. I'll give you an example. Imagine Levan Saginashvili now falls sick. I hope it doesn't happen, but let's say something similar to what happened to Dennis happens to Levan Saginashvili as well. Then Levan drops down to 85%, 90% strength. Devon has an amazingly close match against Levan at 90%, and then he beats him. Will he get the feeling that he took his revenge against Levan? I don't think so. I think it will be even worse for him. The same feeling that he got after defeating Denis Cyplenkov, because I'll say most of the fans did not acknowledge that loss as a true revenge, because everybody was saying, yeah, you beat a washed up Dennis that wasn't anywhere near as close as he was in his prime days. So these are the things that's bothering Devon as of now. Dennis is clear on his stance. He does not want to do anything with Devon. But usually I've seen when two people meet up, they especially the arm wrestlers, they greet each other, they hug each other, and the rivalry is kind of rubbed out. I think that is how it's going to go at East versus West 15 as well. I don't think they're going to get into any fist fight or verbal argument at all, and I hope it stays that way. I hope their friendship becomes strong once again. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.